The Sanity Patrol periodically holds a convention for continuing education and training new recruits. Have you received your invitation? Conventions are an opportunity to see collectives of anti-patrollers in action so they can better be identified, categorized, and dealt with accordingly. Only one anti-patroller collective is selected to perform at the Sanity Patrol Convention. The Curmudgeon Collective is on strike outside the event. What for? They cry. Sanity perpetuates insanity. The ratio of sane to insane will always remain consistent, and generally, humanity sucks. The Altruists Organization put their rose-colored glasses back on the bridges of their noses, paste smug grins on their faces, and shuffle back and forth past the happening. The other seekers come without invitation. They flock together, leaderless yet somehow in sync, and try to bar their way in. The Psychobabble Self-Helpers meet outside the convention, believing themselves to be inside. They alter their attitudes, verbalize and reverbalize, sharing their outermost feelings, convincing themselves they've done more than scratch the surface, which they haven't because they can't. The spiritual evangelists set up a tent outside the convention where they replace sanity with insanity, talk in tongues, blah, blah, dance ecstatically, and call it transcendence. The realism junkies try to set up roadblocks through acts of Darwinism and detente. Say no to everything what is, they smirk, unaware of their pending death due to an inability to think in the abstract. Each narcissist represents their own organization, although they are easily distracted by their images reflected off the mirrors they carry at all times, or any other shiny surface. The fill-in-the-blank anonymous members who use meetings as therapy claim responsibility, submit to God, and drink copious amounts of coffee. The Fundamentalists try to convert the anonymous members and anyone else by smashing their heads with Bibles in the name of Jehovah, Jesus, Allah, or Bob. The borderline personality disorders join the perpetrators of abuse, dramatically depart the demonstration to indulge in symbiotic anti-patrolling behaviors they take as love and affection. The depressed hold a sit-in and sit quietly, numb and unmovable. Except for the bipolars, who vibrate with such intensity, they take flight. Uninvited psychiatrists watch and mark checklists, hand out colorful tablets of drugs and placebos in exchange for greenbacks and awards. Psychologists with varying degrees who have not done their own work but really like to rescue others try to calm demonstrators before succumbing and joining in. One collective calls themselves the Artists of Sanity, even though they rarely finish anything. They dress without taste or distaste, claiming their obnoxiousness is a creative compulsion. In every collective outside the convention, volumes of victims pretend to commit suicide, or make whining sounds they mistake for music, hoping someone will rescue them. The only group the Sanity Patrol lets in are the psychic vampires. They are the ungrateful dead seeking redemption in a rite of their own design. We rise from our graves for the reckoning. We grope through the filth that has buried us. We worm through the layers of sediment and sentiment. Yes, yes, we are what we were, yet we are not what we once were. Our eyes are of tempered glass, protecting what is within from what is without. Our pallor is suffocated gray, our nails and hair frozen since death, except for those few inches that grew after. We are embalmed, preserving our memory of life. We crave release from this state and seek final judgment. Curse us and we will be free me, free me, free me, free me. Patrollers giggle because they know freedom is the last thing psychic vampires really want. They would much rather remain encased in their lifeless bodies to pine about what once was, while sucking the life out of others. We welcome the ultimate cruel authority who criticizes, patronizes, and ostracizes our being and non-being. Yes, we are wretched, and yes, our bodies and minds have renounced growth, change, or transformation. So what? This is what we crave. They beat their breasts with the long-suffering cries of an infant who will remain an infant. Once the rite of self-pity is completed, the psychic vampires try to do the room, but they cannot succeed. Not at this convention. Here they can only suck empty air. They are paid with love, not blood. An usher note. Maybe next year, the staff says, to the crowds outside the door of the Sanity Patrol Convention.